Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the July 7th Delta County Board of Commissioners meeting. If you would please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Yes, we have an addition for Under Sheriff Archibald and Matt Jennings, an application for a DOLA FY 2026-2027 Peace Officers Behavioral Health Support and Community Partnership Grant Program that needs the BOCC to take action on, and this grant has a timely deadline. We also have the Uncompahgre water users is requesting a letter of support for, what was that for?
It was the M&D canal upgrades. And that came from General Manager Steve Pope on Friday.
Okay.
Also, I've asked the emergency manager, Chris Stewart, to join us this morning, give us an update on the Gold Mountain fire.
Okay. Thank you. We'll approve the agenda as noted. Constituent time. We have several people in the room that would like to speak. Janet, would you like to go first?
Okay.
Is the microphone on therefore?
Yes.
Okay. If you would, just state your name and address for the record.
Better to sit down. My name is Janet Chapman. I live at 60711 Oak Grove Road in Montrose. And I'm also a Citizens Climate Lobby. I'm here to encourage a moratorium on data centers, and it would give more time for a compromise or a solution. Hope for help for resolution lies with the Colorado legislature. Previously, they had a Senate Bill 26102 that had water restrictions and use of recycled energy. It was tabled. My notice that Mark Catlin is talking at our forum tomorrow morning, and he is our Colorado senator, and he will speak at the forum July 8th at 8 at Cascade Hall, and hopefully he will be able to encourage, and we'll be able to encourage him to come up with a solution for the Colorado legislature, who is on recess now, but is coming back in session. So hopefully the water situation will really influence him. All right. Thank you very much for your consideration on proposing a moratorium in the meantime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tony Hoag?
I don't want to speak.
Okay. David Moran? Just for the record, please.
Yeah, of course. Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to provide this project update from Energy Field Security, a minority and veteran-owned small business based right here in Delta, Colorado at 1410 Valley View Drive, Suite 316, Delta, Colorado. We continue to advance our Pure Watt project, our vision of for a resilient grid of grids that delivered EMP, GMD hardened behind the meter microgrids to support critical infrastructure, economic development, and energy security for our communities. Our core project focus on the Uravan AI Power Hub and the Pure Watt behind the meter microgrids. We're actively developing the Uravan AI Power Hub a sovereign hardened AI data infrastructure project co-located with critical minerals and HALEU resources for the Western Slope. This leverage modular microgrids that integrate small modular nuclear reactors, SNB 10 megawatts class for 10 years life cycle, and an M-grid modular hydro Peloton Francis turbines via the Project 7 partnership, hydrogen storage for fuel cells, the Verta V mega voltage best solution, and other layered distributed energy resources. Our AIG, our artificial general intelligence distributed energy resource management systems for intelligent management, quantum resilient timing, and laser comm nano nodes powered by the ultra efficiency HIM motors. Recently, the national attention highlights in the stake a July 5th, 2026 60-minute reports details China's near monopoly on rare earth elements, essential for defensive systems, EVs, AI hardware, and modern technology. And U.S. efforts like the MP Materials Mountain Pass mine to rebuild domestic supply chains with the Pentagon support. Our Eurovan AI Power Hub leverages this region's rich critical minerals heritage to do the same here in Colorado. By delivering reliable behind-the-meter microgrids, we can attract and empower rare earth critical mineral production companies, reducing reliance on the adversarial supply chains while creating local jobs and strengthening our national resistance. The key attentions: use these reliable behind-the-meter microgrids to attract rare earth and critical mineral production companies to Delta County and the Western Slope by providing a secure, resilient on-site power that is independent of vulnerable transmission lines. We can dramatically reduce risk costs for these strategic industries. This aligns perfectly with the Just Transition goals, the land use codes, compliance with the BESS SMR layered systems, and the Colorado's energy priorities underneath the CREU and HB 26-1246. It positions Delta County as a hub for high-value jobs in critical minerals, AI data centers, and advanced manufacturing while strengthening the local grid resiliency. The current opportunities and engagement, we are pursuing multiple aligned pathways to bring this vision to fruition. The CMAP, which is the Community Microgrid Assistant Partnership Funding, it's a DOE, OE solicitation. Now this deadline is July 10th. It's up to 3.5 available per projects for microgrids in remote isolated areas with strong emphasis on large load consumers like AI data centers and industrial critical mineral operations. Directly supports our Eurovan AI Power Hub and our Pure Watt deployments. Now the prize innovation programs that we're actively in is a HeroX digitizing the utilities, round 3. We qualified and submitted with video narrative. Beyond the meter, strong alignment with the BTM or behind the meter microgrid layering. Elevate X, Ignite, NECX advanced to committee review stage, and potential IEEE PES E-Stats for 2027 and other opportunities. Our federal and coalition partners is a DIU, is a Defense Innovation Unit submission to Titan Core for modular AI data centers, with full coalitions including Faction Network for Cyber, Celia AI for edge analysis, Blade Room Pod as well as our WattX HIM laser light technology, LaserComm. Now, and others. Some paths pivoting to Pulse Energy Coalition integration. Our DOE DPA Nuclear Fuel Consortium, the Nuclear Dominance 3x33 outreach, includes energy fuels, Western uranium and vanadium, and other HALEU and mineral synergies. The USDA Community Connect REAP Russ Electrical Infrastructure Loan and Loan Guarantee Programs for resilient broadband and power layering. Collaboration with One Delta, with the new recent meeting with the Executive Director, JOLT, as well as the Northwest Colorado Energy Summit, just transition funds, RFPs, the APEX Accelerator for DoD Space Force, G2B contracting pathways. Our technical and local validation, site surveys completed for including the Eurovan, strong correlations building with Thorndike Mill, Scientific Technologies, and others. Exploring the Colorado quantum
Commissioner
timing,
Moran, I'd like for you to go ahead and summarize if you would, please.
the benefits to Delta County, high waste jobs, critical minerals, AI tech, energy infrastructure, economic diversion, just transition support, enhance grid resilience against EMP and GMD cyber threats, reduce reliance on long-haul transmission while supporting local hydro and resources. Position Delta County as a leader in a secure, sovereign energy digital structure. Thank you for your time, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Is that an extra copy? You might want to give that.
This is hers.
Yeah.
And would you like a digital one? I can go ahead and provide that for you.
Chuck Churick, would you want to address?
Morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Sherrick, 5609 2000 Road, Delta. I've got a couple issues. I met with Tim McCracken regarding road and the lack of culverts and the flooding problem that's going to come up eventually, probably not this week or month or year. And it was kind of indicated that we might be able to do something to put some culverts in. But the county wasn't interested in moving the road because of the engineering that wasn't done, or so the road is where the road is, I guess. The people I've talked to, and I kind of did a deep dive into it, that worked for the county when the road was built, kind of verified that there was no engineering, contrary to what Robbie and a few people have said. So I would like to make sure that we get something accomplished as far as the blockage of 2000 Road, because it's backing up and has on my property. The second thing I'd like to talk to briefly, and it's regarding the BEST system, and well, there's two issues actually, but the one that I'm concerned with, they talk about these data centers. And I did a little work into it. I didn't have much time. I just got this thing on Thursday, the revised deal, and there's 87 pages. So forgive me for not getting on it. But, you know, they're talking about the good of the citizens, the safety of the citizens, the wildlife, and everything that goes with it. They talk about the 1 million gallons of water a day that it takes to run these things. That's equivalent, if you look at like 80-acre pivot for our county, which is an ag county, to grow crops for cattle, for consumption. That'll run a pivot for 3 days on 1 million gallons. So they're talking about getting 1 million gallons a day for this data center. I don't think we can support that here. I would like maybe you guys to put a little direction into the planning commission that's working on all this stuff vigorously. But they don't seem, and I catch most of the meetings, not all of them. I miss one or two. They don't seem to have enough direction as to where to go. Some want it, some don't, but nobody has the hard facts as to the impacts and stuff. So if you guys could take a look at it before we get covered up, the BEST system, we could talk about that, but there's not time to talk about that today. I know you guys are busy, so I appreciate your time, and let's forge forward. Thank you.
Chuck.
Thank you. Lindsay, anybody on the computer? Okay.
Mr. Jack Johnson's here
Okay,
from DMEA. You might give
Okay.
him the opportunity.
okay. Would you like to address the board, sir?
Not unless there's any specific questions, I'm here to observe, thank you.
Okay,
And if necessary, happy to speak.
Welcome.
thank you. Okay, we'll continue with our agenda. Next up, County Clerk Terry Stevenson.
Commissioners, this morning for your consideration of the minutes, several sets of minutes, but the first set is for the June 9th, 2026 Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. Did you have any additions, changes, or deletions?
I have none.
I didn't see any either.
I also have for your consideration the June 16th, 2026 Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. Again, any additions, deletions, or changes?
Nope.
Nothing.
I have for your consideration the June 23rd, 2026 Board of County Commissioners special meeting. Any changes, additions, or deletions for that set?
That was for the opportunity zone, yeah, on the
Okay, and then my last set of minutes for your consideration is July 1st for the special meeting that was for last week's ceremony. Are there any changes, additions, or deletions?
I have none.
No.
Okay,
I do want to say thank you to Terry and Lindsay and all the others who made that possible. So
Mhm.
Sheriff, Under Sheriff there was instrumental in getting that going. Thank you.
thank you. For your consideration this morning, I have a liquor license renewal for a tavern license for the Kiss Flower located at 759 Shady Lane in Paonia. I've received all necessary documentation and fees. I reached out to the sheriff's office and there have been no issues at this facility. Therefore, I would recommend the renewal of this tavern license. Do you have any questions?
No.
I'm going to move that we approve the liquor license renewal for a tavern license for the Kiss Flower located at 759 Shady Lane, Paonia.
I will second the motion.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, under Commissioner business, Jolene George. Your time, it's a requirement for her to report under CRS 39-8-105. 1-2, report to County Board of Equalization the total assessed value of all taxable property, list of all real and personal property protests, statutes, outcome of each protest, and a list of owners who failed to return a personal property declaration.
Good morning, Commissioners. and
Good
Thank you,
morning.
Commissioner Lane. I appreciate that. So yes, I'm here to provide you with a report of the total actual and assessed taxable value of all property in Delta County, a report of the 2026 protests and their resolution, and a few other personal property related matters. In your packet, you've got a letter and then associated reports. So I'll just be referring to those through my presentation. The total actual value of all taxable real property in Delta County is $5,350,109,627. The amount of that is taxable to non-school entities is $475,915,525. The taxable amount is for school districts is $487,849,982. You'll notice that the school assessed value is higher than for local governments, and that's because the school maintains a higher assessment rate. These figures do not reflect the actual value reductions for residential property that will be implemented later this year that were part of House Bill 24B 1001. The revised figures will be available in the preliminary certifications in August and then again in November. The total actual value of all taxable personal property in the county is $227,647,741. The taxable amount of that is $59,188,443. We currently have no apportioned values in Delta County for movable or portable equipment.
What do you mean by that?
That would be if you have a piece of machinery that does not have an SMM tag, which is a different way of collecting tax. If it's being moved, say from Utah to Colorado, there will be an apportionment of taxes made on that piece of equipment. And so if equipment's moving in and out of the state, that's when you start getting these apportioned values.
Thank you.
This year, property owners were allowed to or able to protest their valuations starting in January through June 8th. This year, we received 147 real property protests. Of the 147 that we received, we adjusted values on 116 of them. 27 accounts were denied, and 4 accounts were satisfied after visiting with the taxpayers. For comparison, there is a 3-year look back on every intervening year to see kind of how our numbers are trending. And our numbers did go up quite a bit this year, but it was largely due to the temporary adjustments that had been applied to value being taken off for 2025. So people saw a bigger jump in their tax bills than they were expecting. So we actually had a lot of conversations about legislation and how that is impacting people's bills from year to year. As of the date of this report, we had received 1 personal property protest, and that is the case today. And their last day to appeal was June 30th. So we did receive 1 personal property protest. Behind the letter, I have a state abstract, and this report is a 12-page report that identifies the countywide value by property class. And so it just breaks down the values based on if it's vacant land, residential property, commercial, et cetera. So there's 10 classes of property. It's just broken down that way. The next report is the protest master log. It's a 22-page document. And this identifies the properties that were protested and the decisions on each of those for your review and reference. And the last page of my packet is the list of personal property owners who did not file a declaration by the April 15th deadline. Personal property is valued annually. And so in January, we send out a declaration and request that business owners return that declaration to us by April 15th. So we have 115 businesses in the county that have taxable personal property. We only had 6 that did not report back, which is really phenomenal. That means we've got a 95% return rate on our declarations. So I'm very happy to report that. And we typically have a pretty low number, so that's good. Do you guys have any questions for me?
A lot of information, and thank you very much for giving that report. You're well organized. Thank you to you for you and your crew for being so well organized and punctual, and it's nice that you like numbers.
Well, thank you very much, commissioners, and I appreciate you all's support as well. It's vital to what we do, and we really appreciate it. So
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Jolene, I do have one question on your state abstract form.
Yes.
Last column is OG Wells. What does that OG stand for?
Oil and gas wells.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking groundwater, but
Okay,
Okay,
thank you all.
thanks.
thank you.
Thanks, Jolene.
Well, Chris, since you're here for the update, why don't you go ahead and go next, if you don't mind?
Morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
So Commissioner Coons asked me to give an update on the Gold Mountain fire down in Ouray. Give what I can. Haven't been on updates except for the Ouray County EOC this morning. That was pretty brief. So as of this morning, the fire is 31,420 acres in size and only 2% contained. They did some back burning yesterday closer to stop it from advancing towards Ridgeway, and that's why the fire increased in size and they went from 3% down to 2%. But they're trying the north and the northwest corners of the fire. It's headed kind of a portion down by County Road 12 and outside of Ridgeway, and then up into Owl Creek Pass areas are the hottest corners of the fire right now. As of yesterday, it officially crossed Owl Creek Pass and crossed the Gunnison County line into the Cimarron Basin, and they're just barely. It's also crossed over into Hinsdale County and is burning in the Uncompahgre Wilderness, which hasn't seen fire in 50 years, so it's experiencing extreme fire behavior in there, according to their latest report. Currently we have obviously the EOC in Ouray County is fully activated and supporting the fire. The fire started back on June 27th at 5:33 p.m. They have a complex incident management team from the Forest Service that's managing the fire. They're set up down there at the Ridgeway 4-H center. It's like a mini city within Ridgeway down there. As of this morning's Facebook post that they put out, they have over 928 firefighters, not counting the incident management team support on the fire.
That's huge.
Yes. Those incident management teams carry a very big price tag with them. When they come in, due to the heavy winds and stuff, they haven't been able to use a lot of aircraft on the fire. They're using a series of helicopters closer to the 550 corridor and home structure protection, kind of where there's hot spots and steep cliffs where they can't get firefighters. But the north and northwest corners where the fire is the hottest, they can't get aircraft in there with the winds and the terrain and stuff. It's not safe for retardant drops from aviation. They have 6 areas under evacuation, 6 or mandatory evacuation, 2 voluntary evacuation, 2 pre-evac as of this morning, as well as a forest closure. The best thing to do for people that are wanting to know where there's evacuation orders, there's a detailed map that's linked on Ouray County's website, ouraycountyco.gov, as well as Gunnison and Montrose County. And the interactive map has zones that are color coded based on the status. And it also shows the forest closure for that whole upper Cimarron and up into the Cow Creek area of Ouray County. Montrose County is supporting Ouray County with evacuations for animals currently. They're looking forward as they get ready for their county fair to start of if they're going to have to move to another location to support those animals. Gunnison County also has Cattlemen's Days coming up, and if the fire keeps advancing towards Silverjack Reservoir, if there's going to be more evacuations up there, and what that means for all the 3 counties involved. Hinsdale's also involved, so a lot of cross-county collaboration. I was down there from Monday to Wednesday of last week assisting in their EOC. They're kind of rotating emergency managers in and out to help give everybody a break and address the needs, not only on the Gold Mountain fire, but the other fires burning across the state. I pulled up the Division of Fire Prevention and Control statistics this morning, and we have 180,200 acres approximately on fire right now with 18 fires across the state. The Aspen Acres fire down there outside of Pueblo in Custer County is 91,000 acres and growing. They have a ton of mandatory evacuations on that and structures that have been lost. Ferris Fire, which is down in Montezuma and Dolores counties, burning towards San Miguel County, is 51,622 acres and only 22% contained. The Willow Fire outside of Leadville is 4,150 acres and only 5% contained. So extremely dry, as we all know, extreme fire behavior. Unfortunately, they're calling for dry lightning storms today and a couple days this week. So we could see more fires start. So we need people to be vigilant and call in any new stuff so we can get fire departments on them ASAP. Aviation and firefighting resources are becoming extremely scarce because we're not the only state on fire. Utah and Arizona, New Mexico, the upper Northwest is also on fire. So we're competing for resources across the whole Western United States right now. So any specific questions?
Chris, I know we have mutual aid agreements with Mesa and Montrose. Do we have one with Gunnison?
It's old. We signed one in 2015 with all the counties that we touched. The emergency managers were trying to get those updated before fire season. We just didn't get there, but we have an old one that's in place.
And does Blakefield play into any of the air asset needs out there?
I believe they
Yes.
were stationing some stuff out there.
Stationed helicopters at Blakefield.
So yeah, as stuff becomes available, I don't think they can land any of the jets there. They use the tanker base in Grand Junction for those because that's where the retardant base is to fill those up. So they'll fit the Type 1 heavy helicopters. They can land up at Blake, and it's a lot less crowded, and they don't have to deal with the commercial traffic that they have to deal with in Montrose. So that's why they'd like to land those up at Blakefield.
I don't know if there's any currently. There was a couple weeks ago or something. I can go check today and see if they're still there.
We heard some go over last night, so I think they're still using them. The loss of structure been up at Gold Mountain Fire, yeah, that.
That has not been released yet. I don't know. A lot of it is the area's such steep terrain and so hot and the smoke's so heavy that I think they're waiting for the fire department, fire to get more handle on it before they can actually go in and do those assessments and see what damage there actually is. It's gonna be a long, as they keep saying, this is a marathon, not a sprint up there, and they still got months worth of response on this fire. They're starting pre-planning for fire, flooding after fire. If we actually do get monsoons, which I know we're all hoping for some good monsoons, after a steep terrain fire like this that's burned really intense, they're looking at a disaster of flooding coming down on the Highway 550, similar to what we experienced in Glenwood Canyon. So they're already starting to plan for that impact in the next few weeks and what that could mean for residents as well.
We're in a stage 2, and I appreciate you guys and Under Sheriff. Appreciate going into that stage 2 fire ban. Have you had any issues with that?
Not that I've heard. Have you heard of this? Sure.
Good morning, Quinn.
Morning, John. Welcome to the party.
Not really. We've had a couple of human start fires that were very well contained and luckily didn't, spread and do any damage. I've put out to the patrol division that under the circumstances, we have a 0 tolerance on fires. If somebody's burning outside the band, then they're gonna get summoned for it. So I think it's helped quite a bit. I was pretty worried over 4th of July. I know my neighbors had quite a fireworks show. But I hear for the most part, it was pretty calm, so. Is there a stage 3?
There is.
What does that look like?
Stage 3 is closure.
Yeah, and
I mean, so it's really a different category. This area is closed.
yeah, we need to look at what that would look like for the county. That's more of a public lands issue, kind of like what they've done with the forest closure up there for the Gold Mountain Fire, where the public lands just go in and say BLM and Forest Service is closed, or state wildlife area is closed, all public, to minimize the risk of a human caused fire. But you can't do that on private property. But we can look at the ordinance and see what it says for county. But the important thing is everybody just adhere very strict stage 2, basically no open flame outside. There's barbecue grills that are gas or propane that you can turn off and keep it inside of a enclosed lid is the best. And no, stage 2 prohibits charcoal and wood fire grills of all kinds. So it's just not wood.
What do you guys need from this board in terms of assets or support or?
We need you to keep your fingers crossed that we're not in this situation this summer, but unfortunately, I think our time is coming. I was up over the weekend and took a drive up LaRue Creek just to get out of the heat and see what it was like up there. And for most of the way up there until you got up to the top of the reservoir, it's extremely dry. And there's a lot of campers up there last weekend. So it's our public land is still being highly utilized and hopefully they're behaving themselves. So, and I know Chris had our message board down there reminding people it was stage 2. I didn't see any signs of anyone having any fires, so hopefully that helped.
I'm working on trying to order some fire restriction signs that go up on common roads that go out to the Forest Service and BLM lands. It's a process to get all that done. I'm fighting with CDOT right now to get some up on the county lines coming in from Mesa, Montrose, and Gunnison counties. The permitting processes to put one sign up is extreme.
Well, thanks for all your hard work.
Oh, yeah, thanks going to you, Ray, for those few days too, and staying there and helping them out. Appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
You keep us appraised of what's going on.
Will do.
Thank you.
Our next item up is board's consideration and possible award for final bid tally for 2026 RFP 21, the court security barriers.
We didn't go very far.
You look familiar. So I've been working with the other elected officials on some security improvements within their offices. We started with the lobby of the courthouse, working with the clerk's office, working with the treasurer's office. We've identified a few things that we've already improved upon and a few things that we can continue to improve upon. Ultimately, we're gonna try to make some improvements to their processes, their security within their office, should there become an active threat that comes into the lobby of the courthouse. It was also important at the assessor's office because they're kind of on an island over there. And so we also had a conversation with them on some security improvements we could make with their office. Part of this process for me was budgeting for something for our court security deputies right there in the lobby. Should somebody come in who's an active threat, they're out in no man's land there in that lobby. So we budgeted for and were approved for through our jail capital improvement, some barriers and a desk, which is bullet resistant for the lobby there where the x-ray machine is. So that if somebody did come in and try to engage our officers, then they at least had something to protect themselves to try to keep that threat out of the courthouse. This RFP was part of that. I was approved for $44,500 in our budget. You can see that the lowest bidder on this was $45,989. If I can see that. The Total Security Solutions that came in at that number was who we consulted with when we put together the budget and what our budget number was based on. So I would ask that the board award RFP 21 to Total Security Solutions in the amount of $45,989. But I will continue to negotiate with them and see if we can get that closer to our budgeted amount of $44,500.
Okay. Thank you for that update. Wonder why the other company from Montrose was twice as much.
There was the Total Security Solutions, their bid was just the material. We have to do the installation. I haven't broke that to Brian yet. I'll wait. I'll wait for a good day. So yeah, it's just the material. I know that the other bidder, I believe there was some install and some various other things involved in that, but all we were interested in when we went into this was just the material, and we would place it where we wanted to place it.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, then if bidder one is awarded this, they could shorten that delivery time.
That would be part of the conversation we would have with them, along with trying to negotiate that price down a little bit more. And if I am unable to negotiate that price down, we will have some cost savings and some other capital items or other areas within our budget that can absorb that additional cost.
Okay.
I have no further questions, so I will make a motion that we accept 2026 RFP, is it 23?
21.
21, thank you. To Total Security Solutions out of Fowlerville, Michigan, in the amount of $19,897.
I'm actually asking for $45,989, the total amount.
Sorry, look at the top of the number there.
Yeah.
$45,989.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So done.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
When I understand you've got a new employee on court security.
Yes, sir. We have an experienced peace officer who came to us from Montezuma County and from the Southern Ute Police Department. He is starting July 16th.
Very
I
good.
think he's going to be a good asset. He's got a little bit more life experience and law enforcement experience than some of the younger deputies that we have over there. So I think it'll make for a nice balance.
Okay.
His name is,
Uh, Bryce Queen. Yes, thank you. Yes,
very
Okay.
good.
he is Adriana's husband.
Please tell him welcome aboard.
Yeah, and we have an opening in our patrol division. One of our court security deputies, Justin Johnson, will be filling that position once we get everything lined back up. So.
Okay.
Good.
Well, since we have you here, you have another item, the grant for you and Matt been working on?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask Dr. Ray and Jean to join me up here.
Thank you for joining.
So last state fiscal year, I applied.
Please have him introduce himself.
Sorry about that.
Dr. Ray Gadgodian, KBH Center.
Ian Kakodian, KBH Center.
Thank you.
Sorry, Commissioner. I had applied for a DOLA grant for peace officer mental health and resiliency. We were awarded $40,000 for that grant. I faced a lot of hurdles both internally within our staff. Mental health is not something that goes well with law enforcement sometimes. But it was my intent to start somewhere and make it happen eventually, understanding that it was a marathon, not a sprint with this process. I faced also some hurdles with trying to find a provider that could help us with this, spend this money for this grant. Ultimately, I ended up partnering with Dr. Ray and Jean with KBH Center. And they provided a 2-day seminar to our staff that was kind of a segue into the world of mental health as it pertains to law enforcement and resiliency. It was taught by a police chief out of the Chicago area. And so he was able to relate to our staff at that level rather than coming at it from a mental health perspective. And it was very well received. Also, KBH is providing one-on-one sessions with our entire staff and their spouses as needed as part of that funding. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from where we were at so far. I think we're headed in the right direction. You know, you gentlemen have heard me speak before. Mental health is extremely important to me. Mental health is especially important to me within the sheriff's office, and my long-term goal is to have that be much more widely accepted and much more utilized. In order to apply for this round of that same grant, I have to have action from the board that you approve us to apply for that. And I will submit an application. KBH is willing to help me with that process. Matt Jennings, of course, is instrumental in those processes. And I'd ask KBH Center to come in and guess provide the board an update on where we're at with the existing grant and what they hope to provide for us in the future.
In addition to providing the one-on-one behavioral health support for the sheriff's office staff, we are also providing support for their peer supports and helping them develop a comprehensive peer support program. This is a part of the training that we did in May that was actually voluntarily participated. But our plan is to actually move to a mandatory participation to not only have training for the sheriff's office staff, but also for their families as well. Mental health is approached very differently when it comes to law enforcement than it does to the general public. And that's something we're very versed in.
Policy.
Go ahead.
So after meeting with the peer supports, Delta does not have any policy in place with a mental health professional like they have in Grand Junction. And so we're gonna work with Grand Junction and try to create that here. So that there's more, I don't know what it does, like more confidentiality and just getting more resources to everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
How do you implement mandatory counseling? You get your
It's-
paycheck when you go?
It's it's not easy. This first round, the seminars, like Dr. Ray said, were voluntary. However, if it happened to fall on the deputy's days off, then they were compensated for that, obviously. And that helped a little bit. But I think moving forward after the word of mouth, with what was provided this time, I think it's probably still gonna have to be mandatory so that everybody can experience this, but I think it's going to be much better attended after some people have gone to it and are spreading the word on that. Yeah, mandatory is tough. You know, like I said, mental health with law enforcement, they're like oil and water. And then you add mandatory to that, then you're lighting it on fire. So it's gonna be difficult to navigate, but it's something that I feel strongly about. I think it's important. I think that there's a lot of benefit to having that experience.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Well, I'm going to commend Sheriff Archibald for all the work he's doing on behalf of the law enforcement staff. Taking care of our people, particularly in law enforcement, has always been a high priority for him, and it shows. Thank you for doing that. I'm going to move we approve the DOLA grant for Peace Officers Behavioral Health Support and Community Partnership Grant Program and authorize the grant for $40,000. Is that correct?
So that was the last fiscal year grant. I just need action from the board to apply again, and the award amount is unknown at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to amend that to approve applying for this grant again. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
I will second the motion.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done.
Thank you,
Okay,
gentlemen.
thank you.
Okay.
Wayne, let us know what happens there, if you would please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next up is board's consideration of a resolution accepting dedication of easement for Donald and Evelyn Hanson.
Morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Morning, Tim.
For your consideration is a resolution accepting a dedication of an easement. In August 21st, 1979, the Board of County Commissioners approved an exemption plat regulations for Donald and Evelyn Hanson, which was recorded the same day under reception number 380420. Part of that process, Donald and Evelyn dedicated to the Board of County Commissioners a 30-foot easement for road purposes, which the research I did not find a formal acceptance of that resolution. So that's what we're here for today, is a formal acceptance of that resolution.
Thank you.
Did you say July 8th, 1910? Is that correct?
That is the original road petition that's in the county records.
This will be resolution 16.
Those were the elderly people that did that.
Yes, that's the one I gave it. Yeah. And Wendell should have the
Yeah.
updated resolution.
I'm going to move the board approve resolution number 2026 R16, a resolution accepting dedication of easement for Donald Hanson and Evelyn Hanson.
I'll second the motion.
Motion and second before the board. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Aye.
Can't get into my drawer.
Oh, yeah. Next up is ratification of signature for aviation grant 26 AJZ01 to replace existing AWAS system at Blake Field.
Also along with this is the resolution to designate a project director. That should be one action. The reason for the signature before to ratify it was
You got that one.
the state wanted the grant signed before their June 30th deadline. So that was the purpose of signing it before this meeting. So the resolution and ratification are both need signatures, or approve the ratification and then
Ratify.
ratify the agreement, and then the resolution, sign the resolution. The resolution is designating a project director, which will be Scott Sheets, and approving the grant agreement we're ratifying today. Did I muddy the water?
If you did.
Sorry.
I'm going to move that the board ratify this Mike Lane's chairman's signature for aviation grant 26 AJZ01 to replace the existing AWAS system at Blake Field.
You've got a separate resolution, 2026 R17 then.
Yeah, we'll do that next.
I'll make a motion, or I will second the motion to accept the ratification.
Motion and second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Now the resolution number 17.
I'll make a motion that we adopt resolution number 2026 R17, resolution designating a project director, Scott Sheets, and approving the grant agreement with Blake Field on the AWAS system.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done.
Forgot to know this?
Yes.
Good to know.
Okay, great.
Okay, we'll move on to number 6, board's consideration of recommendation of award for the automated weather observing system, AWAS 3 PT replacement project for Blake Field.
So this is the project you just authorized through the grant. On May 22nd, 2026, the bid publicly opened and was read aloud. There were 4 total companies that attended that opening. We received 1 bid, and that bid was from Pro Electric Contractors Incorporated. They're a local company. The bid was for $304,400. The grant is $440,000 with a federal portion of $418,000, a state portion of $11,000, and a county portion of $11,000. Like I said, there was only 1 bid received, and I would recommend that we award the contract to Pro Electrical Contractors for the amount of $304,400. Do you have any questions?
None.
None here.
They had the proposed project start date 1/1/26.
So this is grant funded, so we're waiting on the grant funding before we can start. So that's why it hasn't started yet. So all this process we're going through today is getting the ball rolling so we can construct later this summer or fall.
I'm going to move the board approve the award for the AWAS system replacement project for Blake Field to LJA Aviation in the amount of $304,400
The contractor that's gonna do the work is Pro Electric Contractors.
through Pro Electric Contract. Thank you.
I will second that motion.
Motion is second on the floor. Any further discussion on this? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, so done. Thank you. Now, number 7 is a board's consideration of a resolution imposing a temporary moratorium on data center facilities in all unincorporated portions of Delta County.
I'll pick up on this one.
Okay.
Data centers, of course, have been in the news frequently here in the last several years. The state legislature made a run at doing something to manage these statewide, and they did nothing this past year. It's come to our attention multiple times that there are multiple different types of data centers. And we've actually had some tire kickers here in Delta County looking for power, land, and water. It'd be my recommendation to this board that we put a 6-month moratorium on data centers until we see how the local governments actually start to regulate these and what it means for Delta County citizens. And I know we have Mr. Jack Johnson here today with us. Jack, would you like to join us up here? Welcome, glad you're here.
Thank you. How many requests for power have you had?
Well, in our service territory, we've half a dozen, maybe max over, and that includes Montrose County as well, that we've had some inquiries, but none of them have really gotten past, the other just the tire kicking stage. As we said before, we have an obligation to serve under our CPCN within our certificated service territory. So we would work with any load, whether it was a data center, whether it's a manufacturing facility, any large load, we're ready and willing to serve. We understand that the process of getting a data center up and running goes through the planning commission and the commissioners, county commissioners, or the city councils, wherever relevant or appropriate. And so we were ready to serve if it makes it through that process. But, and we have the ability to do that, we believe, probably not at the hyperscale level, but certainly at, a lower megawattage level, this 50, 10, 50, 100 megawatt potentially. All of that would have to be determined more specifically with studies that we normally conduct with any potential load of that kind of magnitude.
Thank you.
Yes.
Jack, we keep hearing that these data centers will often bring their own power with them as a requirement from the local co-ops. Have you guys explored any of that?
We have not. There's a lot of trending with data centers you mentioned. I mean, it's been quite a buzz. AI especially over the last few years, supported by data centers. We at Delta Montrose have had data centers before. We currently have one we've had one in the past, smaller scale. People just don't realize that they're there. Bitcoin mining, cryptocurrency operations have been part of both counties over the past few years. But there's a lot of evolution in these data centers in terms of how they're designed and constructed. And you probably read it as well. In terms of water consumption that was referenced earlier, closed loop systems, different types of chemical or air cooling systems to try to minimize the water impact. And the ability to get these up and running when it takes generally of a load that size, months to years to get it up and running. And they're impatient. They come in and bring their own their own power source or power generation on site. Most of the time, that's going to be in the form of, if you want base load generation, in terms of natural gas turbines, and possibly supplemented some with solar. Wind is not, you haven't seen, at least in our type of area or our type of terrain, where wind would be as practical. But there's certainly places in Colorado where you can co-locate near some pretty large, wind farms and things of that nature if you had that kind of contractual relationship. But they are training to bring more of their own generation, or what we've seen recently is that they're looking at a substation by substation basis and creating a mesh network of centers. So rather than have a single 100-megawatt facility, you might have 20 megawatts near this substation, 10 over here, 15 over here, whatever, however you piece that together based on the capacity of the substation and or the transmission in the area. So they're getting very smart and clever on how to pull these together. They've seen, I think, some of the backlash, developers in general, of these hyperscale, gigawatt type data centers. That I would say is not likely in our area based on a variety of structural or infrastructure constraints. But I think there is the possibility that you might see some smaller scale ones here, if they can get through. We're the last stage in this process. We have an industrial tariff right now, industrial load tariff. If we got to the stage where you would have a really serious prospect, then we would probably look at more specific type of data center tariffs. I'd say we'd consider those things. We do cost of service studies regularly. It's our intention always as a cooperative to fairly share the cost and try to get the cost causers to pay their cost. It's not a perfect methodology when you get to any kind of utility rates, as you probably know. There's art and there's science to it, a little politics as well, depending on what the economic drivers of your communities are, or the strategic initiatives of your communities. So we are, far from that process. I mean, if somebody really could start today, you're talking probably several years before they're up and running. Is that helpful information? Yeah.
One of the things that we are always attuned to is certainly the land use side of that equation for data centers.
Mm-hmm.
What else would you suggest we pay attention to if and when an application comes before us?
Electricity is my business. Politics is your business. And land use is not something that probably Delta BMEA wants to opine on. I understand the sensitivity. Some of us have been, and our landowners, and that's a debate for here. We're ready and willing to serve through our CPCN if that prospect comes about. Don't mean to dodge or avoid the question.
That's a good answer.
Staying in my lane.
Yeah. This is new to us too.
It is. I've said too, a 50 megawatt load could be a data center, but it could be a manufacturing facility as well. I mean, it could be any type of industry that comes in here. The fact that there's a buzz around just data centers, if I had a 50 megawatt data center and a 50 megawatt Tesla battery facility, would they get the same attention? I don't know. From a community standpoint, I just know that we'd be prepared to meet that need if that need were to arise. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Any other discussion on this before
Well, I just think we're prudent to do this at least 6-month moratorium because of the newness and the questions that are outstanding still. There's just too many moving parts still for us to move forward. So I think this gives us a framework to work within
What's hard?
and try to wrap our heads around what the ramifications are of doing or not doing, so.
Well, I will say Colorado Counties Inc., CCI, is also collecting data and information from different counties on data center land use regulations. So this will give us an opportunity to benefit from their work. So I'm going to move the board approve resolution 2026 R18, a resolution imposing a temporary moratorium on data center facilities in all unincorporated portions of Delta County.
I will second the motion.
Motion and second on the floor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Thank you for showing up, Mr. Jackson. Appreciate it.
Well, this is a draft. Does anybody have an original on this? You got it. Mine had a watermark on it.
Next up, we have that letter of support.
Gentlemen, last week late, Mr. Steve Pope, General Manager of Uncompahgre Valley Water Users Association, contacted me to get a letter of support for various grant funding. They wish to modernize and automate it's called the M&D in Ironstone. It's Montrose and Delta Canals and Ironstone diversion structures. This is just asking for a letter of support and does not commit any funds from Delta County.
Okay.
Well, I would move that the board approve this letter of support and authorize all the board members to sign.
I will second the motion.
Motion and second on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So done.
Aye.
Thank you. Aye, aye.
Come on, Craig.
I was looking at the empty room, thought, where'd everybody go? Everybody's talking about it. I thought they were all waiting. Calendar up.
Yeah, it's there.
Everybody was going.
Posted pen over here. Lindsay, can I get a copy of that so I can send it to Steve? And Terry's gonna take a copy.
And now we'll go over our calendar.
So today, afternoon, July 8th, 10 a.m. CED Wednesday. July 13th, ODC. July 13th, 8:30 work session for SNAPS DER ready. July 21st, 8:30 Board of County Commissioners regular meeting. July 1st, 3:30 Board of Health. July 21st, PM Board of Health.
6 p.m. then?
I'm sorry, I don't know. Is it July 21st? Harry, is it 3:30 or?
3:30 Board of Health meeting.
Mike will be there at 6 for the second one. I can't come.
So there's no good for you.
Right.
Okay. July 22nd, 9 AM. Agency Lamont Wilson. July 27th, 4 PM. 1 PM.
Okay.
That's it for July, huh?
23rd and 24th, I have these Club 20 summer policy. I'm gonna go to that one as registered.
No.
Is that the one in Gunnison or where's that one at?
That's Grand Junction.
I have something that says CDOT meeting. Anybody know about that?
No.
Nothing about that. That may have been a Surface Creek thing. It says, I think it's one of the ones that I went and typed in, so the details are a little sketchy, I'll just say. But I'll check with. You want to see what you have? I will check and see who and what that's all about. Your AGNC meeting is in Grand Junction all day Thursday and part of Friday,
Club 20.
or Club
Yes.
20, okay.
So if either. Or if you would like to go, then I will public notice it.
Go ahead and public notice it,
Okay.
yeah.
And I'll check into the CDOT thing if it's just erroneous, which everyone's. You better wait on me in case I have to be at this.
Go ahead and put
23rd.
it.
It's in blue. Does that mean, what does that mean? Does anybody, that means?
Depends what you do.
It's the CDOT meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that means it's an all day thing, right? You know what
Well,
that means?
depends on if you color coordinated your calendar.
I think it just means you.
You think I color coordinated?
Then we have county fair starting Saturday, August 1st with community night, August 5th.
Okay.
Lindsay's getting us aprons.
Or on order.
963 hamburgers you guys are ordering or
Something like that.
Yeah. Fun time.
lunch?
Okay. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. I'll do the Delta County Detention Facility Population Count Report, Sunday, June 21st, 2026. Male inmates County Jail 26, female inmates County Jail 6, male inmates Department of Corrections 1, for a total of 33. Average daily inmate population for the week of 6/15/26 through 6/21/26 was 42.16. The daily Delta County Detention Facility Report for Sunday, June 28th, 2026. Male inmates County Jail 28, female inmates County Jail 5, male inmates Department of Corrections 2, for a total of 35. Average daily inmate population for the week of 6/22/26 through 6/28/26 was 38.62. And I see sheriff and undersheriff came back in. Is there any other action we need to take on your part? Okay,
You just came back for the free donuts.
okay. Okay. So next on our agenda is planning at 10 o'clock. So we'll be in recess until 10 o'clock. Thank you.
We're in a little bit late, huh?
All right.
Welcome back to the last item on our agenda. Oh, okay, welcome back. The last time on our agenda is planning and dedication of a right of way. So I'll turn it over to planning.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's gonna be a quick one today, as we only have one project. Quick day before you, we have PLN 26-030 Spallinger. This is to accept dedication of road right of way to Delta County for 1600 road and a total of 0.24 acres. The property is located on the west side of 1600 road in Delta. So before you, you'll see, the final plat. So this is it for a minor subdivision, 2-lot subdivision. 4 of the lots are already established. There is a residence on both of the lots, so there is, infrastructure such as water, septic, and electric. So lot 1 totals in 1.02 acres. Lot 2 is 3.53 acres. And again, the dedication for 1600 Road is 0.24 acres. So with that, staff recommends that your board accept a quitclaim deed dedicating road right away 1600 Road as public road in the amount of 0.24 acres and authorize the chair to sign the final plat. And with that, that concludes my presentation.
Okay. Any questions? I have none. Thank you.
Seems pretty straightforward.
Mhm.
So you're looking for a motion to accept the right of way?
And the chair to sign the plat.
Do we have there's no number or anything like that?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I make a motion that we accept the resolution imposing, oops, I'm sorry. Wrong side of the paper. Accept the dedication of the right of way to Delta County for 1600 Road as public road in the PLN 26-030 Spallinger property,
And authorize the chair.
and authorize chair to sign.
I'll step down and second that. If no further discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, so done. Thank you. And you've got the plat there to sign? Okay. Is there any other business to come before the board? If not, we'll go ahead and stand adjourned. Thank you.